Okay, so I've been making a lot of Nintendo videos lately. Frankly, it's been a very exciting time to be a Nintendo fan, and before anything else, I'm mainly a Nintendo fan. The Switch 2 presents a real opportunity to see the future of Nintendo. I've been excited about new hardware since Tears of the Kingdom released. At that point, basically all of my favorite series have been tapped for the Switch, and needed a new platform to push them further. This included most of the big third-party title collabs too. I love my Switch, but I don't want the next mainline Kirby on it, or Fire Emblem. I want the future of Xenoblade to be next-gen, the evolution of Mario to come out on a new platform. The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom was the final game I wanted on Switch. I may have loved most of the software after it, but to me, Tears of the Kingdom was the conclusion of the Switch era. The game was the culmination of the Nintendo Switch. Mario Wonder, Mario RPG, Echoes of Wisdom, Pikmin, and a bunch of other games are all great in their own right, but after Tears of the Kingdom came out, I was ready for the next step forward for Nintendo. Now we've seen not just the pinnacle of Zelda on the hardware, but the pinnacles of Kirby, Fire Emblem, Xenoblade, 2D Metroid, Smash Bros, 2D Mario, 3D Mario, Animal Crossing, Mario Party, Bayonetta, Pokemon, Splatoon, Luigi's Mansion, and soon, Metroid Prime. Not including third-party titles like Square Enix's HD 2D games or Monster Hunter Rise. We know what the Switch can do, and I know what my favorite Nintendo IP did on the hardware. I was ready to move on because my favorite series was also ready to move on. It would take Nintendo a while to get there, but now they're where most of their audience has been for years. I didn't need the Switch generation to end, but for a long time now I've wanted to see the next generation of Kirby, Fire Emblem, Mario, and of course The Legend of Zelda. Well, we're finally here. It's time to see the future of Nintendo, what the next 8 years will be shaped by. To say I'm excited is an understatement. I'm floored. I could hardly wait for the Switch 2 when it was announced, and I can barely contain my excitement for the console months later. So before we truly see what Switch 2 is, what it will be, and what Nintendo means for it, allow me one last chance to detail what I'd like out of this event and the console. I think they'll continue the Iwata strategy, where the only thing that matters is innovation, fun, and quality. But I believe Shuntaro Furukawa, the current CEO of Nintendo, has another idea. A new ideal for Nintendo. With the launch of Alarmo, the Mario movie, Nintendo Music, and Nintendo Today, people have never been closer with Nintendo. They wake up to Mario, fall asleep to Mario, watch his movies, read his news, and listen to his music. I think this is the focus of Nintendo into the next generation. A system for everyone, with the best games and an entire ecosystem. Nintendo owns the portable, and they revitalized their TV gaming. Do well in mobile, but they've never had an actual ecosystem connecting everything. Well, now they do with the Nintendo account system, and all the side projects they've put out. After the Direct last week, this ecosystem has only become more connected. Virtual game cards, Nintendo Today, the announcement for the Zelda movie's release date on Nintendo's own news service. There's been rumors about Nintendo working on a Miiverse-esque social platform, their own TikTok. I don't buy into that necessarily, but factually, Zelda Tears of the Kingdom and Pokemon Legends Arceus sold better because they exploded on social media, particularly TikTok, Twitter, and YouTube. These platforms and the communities on them were free marketing for those titles, and they sold huge numbers partly because of the trends the games created. Every day there was a viral build in Tears of the Kingdom exploding on Twitter. Pokemon Legends Arceus similarly had an impact on social media. For example, jump scares from alpha Pokemon and shiny hunting, you can no longer post on Twitter directly from the Switch due to API changes the platform made. There's been Nintendo games that would have done incredible on there if the changes didn't go into effect. I think this is Nintendo's way to circumvent that, alongside hopefully better clipping and capturing, alongside direct posting to YouTube. It's hard to go from PlayStation 5, where I can clip and record an entire 30-hour playthrough of Final Fantasy VII Remake, to the Switch where I'm stuck clipping 30-second long videos of Xenoblade Chronicles X. I think Shuntaro Furukawa's strategy will be for Nintendo Switch 2 to be an everything system, a console transcending portable and docked play, to be something never seen before. I've been formulating on this for months now. I've felt this way for a while. I believe the new philosophy will only work if there's good software, just as the Switch only did well because of its software. So what software do I want to see? Well, it's pretty simple. I want a lot, but I expect the minimum. There's no way we don't see a new Mario game, and a look at the Mario Kart shown off last time. I bought a Switch for Mario Odyssey in 2017. This year, I'll be buying the Switch 2 probably for the next 3D Mario game as well. I didn't buy Mario Kart 8 Deluxe until it became obvious Mario Kart 9 wouldn't exist on the Switch, so I'm also excited to see Mario Kart. But I'm not deeply into Mario Kart. It's an okay series in my opinion, but I'm much more enthused about other IPs such as Fire Emblem. I fell in love with this series when I picked up Three Houses on sale in 2021. Ever since, I've been hooked on the brand and I wanted more from it from every Nintendo presentation since. I want something in line with Three Houses, but I'll easily settle for anything Fire Emblem, so long as it's not a remake. I don't want year one of this new platform to be remake heavy. There were two series I became a fan of on the Switch that I can immediately think of, Kirby and Xenoblade. I'm playing Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition right now. It's great, and I've played every Kirby game available on the console aside from the ones on NSO's expansion pack. I would like to see Monolith Software's new IP, not another Xenoblade game. Give this series some time to rest, and it seems likely that Monolith Software is doing just that. Kirby-wise, I want a new game. I don't care if it's 2D or 3D. I just want the pink puffball back, although if it's 2D, it needs to be faster. I liked Star Allies and Return to Dreamland Deluxe, but generally speaking, they're such slow games. Of course, my favorite Nintendo series is The Legend of Zelda, but I don't think we're ready for a new one yet. I could see a remake of a classic title though. Zelda is a yearly series, and there hasn't been a remake since 2019. Nintendo also has big partnerships. I'd love to see another Ubisoft collab, Mercury Steam's next project, or any collaboration with Koei Tecmo. I loved the Warriors collabs as much as any Switch titles. One smaller partnership I want to see again, and there's actually a legacy and history to it, is Suda51. I just want to see him, either No More Heroes or his next game, or confirmation Grasshopper and Nintendo are staying close. A highlight of this generation for me was discovering Suda's games. There is no company Nintendo is closer with than Platinum Games and Sega. We'll probably see something Sonic, Shin Megami Tensei, or something else from Atlas. But I really want to see an early look at Bayonetta 4, or from Platinum Games the long-rumored sequel to Astral Chain. The best part about the Switch is that any number of these projects are likely. The studios have all had ample time since their last big works to be fully into next-generation development. A company like Next Level Games has certainly been making a next-generation game for multiple years now. Third-party developers are also definitely working on titles for the new generation. I would love to see a bunch of Bandai Namco games ported to the console, but I care most for the next Smash game, be it an Ultimate Edition of Smash Ultimate or something new. Super Smash Bros. Ultimate is in my favorite Switch game rankings. I think it's my most played game on all 3 Switches I own, so a new Smash game is a necessity for me, at some point though whenever Sakurai is ready. What about other third-party games? I'm a big Final Fantasy fan, so I mainly want to see Square Enix here. It's no secret the studio's games haven't done great in Japan lately, and it's no secret they want to put games out on the Switch too. I want Final Fantasy 16 and 15 to be here. I own both on PlayStation, I've beaten 16 already, and I've played 6 hours of 15, but I will buy them again regardless. I really want to see Final Fantasy 7 Remake here. I think it will be here. I'm almost certain of this. If it isn't, I'll be sad. I guess it depends on how third-party / port-heavy the direct is, and I don't think it's going to be too third-party or port-focused. Final Fantasy 7 Remake would be a massive reveal, and would get me hyped. I beat it a couple weeks back, but like with most Square Enix games, I'll buy it twice. I'm sure Capcom will be here, Konami, Ubisoft, 2K, and maybe even Microsoft too, as the Switch version of Minecraft is their best-selling game ever in Japan. One thing that is needed for the Switch 2 Direct is a hardware focus. We have to see what the C button does. We need to look at the mouse feature. We need to see confirmation of Amiibo or NFC support. It's in the Joy-Cons. As an Amiibo collector, I'm praying they're here. I've bought almost the entire line. It's Nintendo, so they're going to demo motion controls. This is too big a part of what makes Nintendo truly Nintendo nowadays, so they'll likely be here. Surely they'll show off what sets the Switch 2 apart from the current Switch. I don't care much about hardware specifics, so long as it makes games better, but I am interested in how Nintendo and their partners will maximize these new features and the better performance or higher power of this generation, compared to the many games that struggled later on in the Switch's life. Something interesting about the Switch 2 is a chance to showcase a real graphical improvement from past hardware. We could finally see jagged models smoothed out, frame rates increased, and hopefully retroactive updates to most first-party games. A big focus of Nintendo Switch 2 rumors have been about DLSS, which might not be a big name presence here, but I bet third parties will discuss it, and visually you'll notice it. Potentially we'll also see new features of the Joy-Con, a new name perhaps, a new look at Pro Controllers or extra peripherals, something to do with the improved kickstand or second charging port. If you've been following rumors, there could be a Mario Kart themed Switch too. There's much I'd love to see this Wednesday, but I think I covered everything I mainly want to see. Of course, there's always something else, like a new IP or a mature first-party game, etc. But this Direct is 40 minutes, and we're going to have at least another 7 years to see those along with so much more I couldn't even think of. I love the Switch. This is my favorite gaming console of all time, and if the Nintendo Switch 2 is a third as good as the original Switch, it'll be up there as well. Let's hope the Direct is good and the magic is recaptured in some form. I'll be streaming the Nintendo Switch 2 Direct on Wednesday, so check that out if you're interested. I've set up some things to make it a fun stream. If you want to see Nintendo content though, mainly JRPG stuff, subscribe to my channel, leave a like on the video if you enjoyed it, tell me what you're interested in seeing at the showcase. And once again, I'm sorry for focusing such a large amount of my videos lately on Nintendo. I'm really excited about this generation and the possibilities. Check out the videos on screen now. Thank you for watching and I hope you have a good day.